Hello and welcome. You're watching NDTV. It's me and Veera here bringing you all the very latest as counting of votes is still taking place. But the numbers have been rather surprising, Veera, with, we've been on this for a few hours now. But 239 is the BJP alone, 294 is the NDA.
Well, it's fascinating. It's going to go down to the wire. But let's take us through the headlines first, Gargi, before we discuss the numbers.
All right, let's take a look at the headlines. And the NDA scores a simple majority. We're a few hours into the counting, and that simple majority remains. The India bloc, though, crosses the 200 mark at 231. But the real story, amazing story, is of the Samajwadi Party set for its best ever performance. The India bloc rides the Akhilesh wave. And this election has meant the return of the regional parties with the Samajwadi Party, the TMC, TDP, Uddhav Sena performing. The Trinamool Congress maintains that lead in West Bengal, and phone lines are now being worked from Delhi. Jagan Reddy concedes defeat, will meet the governor, while Chandrababu Naidu, what a comeback, he will be taking oath. A spectacular show for the TDP in the Andhra Assembly polls.
Well, so all those fascinating results coming in, those numbers, Gargi, is going to take this down to the wire. 239 at the moment in terms of leads for the BJP, down 64, 99 for the Congress, up 47. Congress not able to get past the 100 mark. So I think the takeaway is that the BJP is still the single largest party by a mile, but well below 272. And the NDA, of course, numbers at 293.
And we just had Kiran Rijiju speaking to us, the first reaction from the Modi government on these results. And he did say, Jo jeeta, wahi Sikandar. Though one also, thinks of what Mamata Banerjee says when, that slogan of theirs, Khela Hobe. And we're hearing of, phone lines being worked from Delhi to the various regional parties, which have been the big story of this election as well.
That's right. The regional parties, the big story. We have... we'll get our expert political guests in a bit to weigh in on the numbers. One of the numbers I'm looking at is fascinatingly of the Karnataka results, where again Congress's state president DK Shivkumar's brother DK Suresh, the only seat that the Congress won in 2019, lost the election there in Bengaluru rural. Prajwal Revanna has lost in Hassan. But otherwise, the Congress getting to the double-digit mark in Karnataka, containing the BJP there as well. So it's a fascinating contest state by state. We have Shaina NC, spokesperson of the BJP, Advocate Ashpreet Kadal of the national spokesperson of the Congress, and we also have Deepak Shenoy, market expert, founder of Capital Mind.
Probably to reflect on how the markets, have nosedived since these results. Well,
Let's
Sharad Pawar is speaking. Let's listen in.
जागा मर्यादित राहिल्या सगळ्या मिळून आम्ही 10 जागा मिळवल्या पण त्याच्यामध्ये असं दिसतंय की 7 जागेवर आणखी काही त्याचा पूर्ण काउंटिंग झालेलं नाही पण 7 जागेवर आज आम्ही तुझ्या आहोत किती 7 होते 7 जागेंच्यावर आज आम्ही तुझ्या आहोत याचा अर्थ 10 जागा निवडून 7 मध्ये विजय मिळण्याच्या संबंधीचं चित्र याचा अर्थ स्ट्रायकिंग रेट हा राष्ट्रवादी काँग्रेसचा या निवडणुकीमध्ये निश्चितपणाने झालेला आहे. हा जो काही यश मिळालं ते यश मिळालं ते एकट्या राष्ट्रवादी काँग्रेसचं यश आहे असं आम्ही मानत नाही. आम्ही ही जी महाराष्ट्र विकास आघाडी केली याचा उल्लेख माझ्या स्टेटमेंटमध्ये सविस्तर आहे. त्या आघाडीच्या वतीनं आणि इथे काँग्रेस पक्ष आणि उद्धव ठाकरेंच्या नेतृत्वाखालची शिवसेना आणि आमचे सहकारी या सगळ्यांनी एकत्रित देवाभावाच्या वतीनं काम करण्याची भूमिका घेतली आणि त्यामुळेच हे यश जसं आम्हाला मिळालं राष्ट्रवादीला तसं काँग्रेसला मिळालं आणि उद्धव ठाकरेंच्या नेतृत्वाखालच्या पक्षाला सुद्धा मिळालं. आणि या जे मी सुरुवातीला सांगितलं की परिवर्तनाचं वातावरण आहे आणि आम्ही तिघही एकत्रित राहून उद्याच्या काळामध्ये आमची धोरणं ठरवू आणि महाराष्ट्राच्या जनतेची सेवा करायची खबरदारी घेऊ एवढंच या ठिकाणी मला सांगायचं आहे. उद्याची बैठक ही दिल्लीला आज संध्याकाळी ठरेल आणि ती झाली तर त्या बैठकीला माझी उपस्थिती असेल. आज काही टेलिव्हिजनवर बातमी आहे किंवा मी चंद्रबाबूंशी बोललो आणखीन कोणाशी बोललो याच्यात काही तथ्य नाही. मी काही कोणाशी बोललेलं नाही. बोलणं माझं झालं असेल तर ते काँग्रेस अध्यक्ष आणि काँग्रेस नेतृत्व यांच्याशी झालं, बाकी कुणाच्या संबंधित नाही. या चर्चा करणं इतरांशी याबद्दलचं धोरण हे राष्ट्रीय पातळीचे आमचे सगळे सहकारी आहेत त्यांच्याशी विचारविनिमय करून केलं जाईल.
सर, सगळे म्हणतात की तुमचं वय झालं आहे. या ठिकाणी हे सिद्ध झालं आहे की टायगर बुडा हुआ तो क्या हुआ लेकिन जिंदा है.
सर हिंदीमध्ये प्लीज ब्रीफ कराल सगळं.
सर
मराठी एकदा होऊ दे, मराठी झाल्यावर हिंदी घेऊ.
सर एक
मदत तुम्हाला पुढच्या कालावधीमध्ये मिळेल असं वाटतं का? नितीश कुमार यांची मदत तुम्हाला पुढे मिळेल असं वाटतं?
माहिती नाही. माझं काही त्यांच्याशी बोलणं झालं नाही. एका राज्याचे प्रमुख आहेत आणि त्यामुळे त्याची माहिती असल्याशिवाय त्याच्यावर मी कमेंट करणं योग्य नाही. माझा आणि त्यांचा सुसंवाद आत्ता झालेला नाही. संबंध आहेत पण आत्ता बोलणं झालेलं नाही.
सर, बारामतीची जी जागा होती त्यावर
नाटकी टक्कर होईल असं म्हटलं जात होतं, मात्र निकाल तुमच्या बाजूने लागलेला आहे, त्याच्याबद्दल काय सांगाल?
याचा उमेदवाराला विचारावं.
तुम्ही अधिक प्रभाग घेतलेले आहेत, तुम्ही फिरलेला आहात.
निर्णय काय असा की माझं स्वतःचं असेसमेंट त्या मतदारसंघाचं असेल की याच्यापेक्षा वेगळा निकाल लागेल असं मला कधी वाटलं नाही. एक आणि बारामती हा जो विधानसभेचा मतदारसंघ आहे त्याच्यात माझा स्वतःचा गेले 60 वर्षाचा असोसिएशन आहे. माझी सुरुवातच तिथं झालेली होती आणि प्रचार करू न करू तिथला सामान्य माणूस जो आहे, नागरिक जो आहे, त्याची मानसिकता काय मला ठाऊक आहे. आम्ही जावं अथवा न जावं तो योग्यच निर्णय घेतो आणि घेईल याची खात्री आम्हाला होते. आणि मला आता किती टक्के
18 किती 18वी राऊंड चालू आहे ना आता.
16वी राऊंड पब्लिश झाली.
हा, पब्लिश 16वी झाली. किती झालं?
त्याच्या आधी बारामती विधानसभेत कसं मतदान झालं?
10व्या राऊंडला 22,000 होता. आता 35,000च्या पुढे लीड असेल बारामती विधानसभा.
एका विधानसभेमध्ये 35,000च्या पुढे आत्ता लीड असेल आणि बाकीच्या मतदारसंघाचं तुमच्याकडे सगळं असेल ना?
हो, म्हणजे बाकीमध्ये पण लीड आहे. खडकवासला थोडंसं कमी आहे, बाकी सगळे लीड आहे.
बाकी सगळे तालुके
गेल्या वेळेसपेक्षा खडकवासला चांगलं आहे.
टोटल किती लीड असता अजून
या क्षणी
आता 16व्या राऊंडला रफली 76,000च्या आसपास आहे.
आणि अजून 3-4 राऊंड
अजून
आहेत.
6 ते 7 राऊंड बाकी
अच्छा,
आहे.
6 ते 7.
आजचा निकाल लागला आहे. यानंतर विधानसभेपर्यंत महाविकास आघाडी अजून जास्त एक ताकदीनं पुढे येईल असं वाटतंय का? चर्चा अशा होत्या की हा लोकसभेचा निकाल महाविकास आघाडीला सुद्धा म्हणजे वेगवेगळं करतील, सगळे पक्ष वेगवेगळीकडे दिसतील. तुम्हाला काय वाटतं? ही तुमची एक पक्की झाली अजून?
आमची साधारणचा जो विचारविनिमय होतोय आणि झाला आहे त्याच्यामध्ये महाराष्ट्र ही विकास आघाडी जी आहे त्या विकास आघाडीच्या वतीनं आम्ही सामूहिक कष्ट करू, प्रयत्न करू, लोकांच्यात जाऊ आणि उद्याचं महाराष्ट्राच्या विधानसभेचं चित्र बदलायला जे आमचे प्रयत्न चालूच आहेत त्याला हा निकाल आम्हाला अधिक प्रेरणा देणारा आहे आणि म्हणून हे काम आम्ही चालू ठेवू.
You expect the alliance partners of the BJP to break away and come on the India alliance side? Do you expect the alliance partners of the BJP from the NDA to break away and come on the India alliance side? Do you expect that?
No, I don't know. Neither we have discussed, neither we have thought.
पवार साहब किस तरीके से चुनावी परिणाम को आज के देखते हैं महाराष्ट्र के परिप्रेक्ष्य में, पूरे देश भर में जो चुनावी परिणाम है उसे कैसे देख रहे हैं?
यही बात शुरू में मैंने कहा कि महाराष्ट्र में तो रिजल्ट अच्छा आ गया, और सबसे ज़्यादा उत्तर प्रदेश का ये डिसीजन आएगा, इस पर कोई सोचते नहीं थे। हिंदी में
Nobody had imagined that the India alliance will be able to secure so many seats in Uttar Pradesh.
हिंदी बेल्ट में और मेहनत करने की आवश्यकता है, यह हम समझते सोचते थे, और इसमें कोई ना कोई सुधार हो गया, ये बात सच है। फिर भी मध्य प्रदेश और कुछ एरिया में और ज़्यादा काम करने की आवश्यकता है, क्योंकि उत्तर प्रदेश के जनता ने जो इसमें डिसीजन दे दिया, एक नई डायरेक्शन सब लोगों को उन्होंने दिए। हम वहाँ के नेता लोग, वहाँ के कार्यकर्ता लोग और उत्तर प्रदेश की जनता जो इन सभी का हम आभारी है कि
We are thankful to the people, to the parties, to the leaders of all the parties of the India bloc who worked for the parties to secure so many seats in Uttar Pradesh, and we understand that we need to work even better for the people of Uttar Pradesh.
रेज करने की कोई आवश्यकता नहीं थी। जिनको आम जनता के बारे में कॉन्फिडेंस नहीं, ऐसे लोग उस लाइन पर जाते थे, उन्होंने कोशिश की, और जनता ने इसका स्वीकार नहीं किया। यहाँ तक इस कैंपेन में आपने हमने लोगों ने देखा कि
the people decided the result of this election, and we, the India leaders, need not worry about what will be the final decision of the people of India who have voted for us in our favor for this win that we will get.
दो भैंस आपने रखी है, इनमें से एक भैंस को लेके जाएंगे, इस तरीके से या गलत चीजें हाईएस्ट पोजीशन देश के जिम्मेदारी करते हैं, इन लोगों ने की थी। ये बात बिल्कुल अच्छी नहीं थी, मगर हमारा विश्वास था कि आम जनता इस तरह की कैंपेन, इस तरह की लाइन, इस तरह का प्रोपेगेंडा, इसका स्वीकार कभी नहीं करेंगे। और इसका अच्छा जवाब उत्तर प्रदेश के मुख्यमंत्री हो, अखिलेश जी या उनके बाकी साथी लोगों ने ठीक तरह से दिया। और
The opposite alliance said that people were not confident in us, but it is the people who themselves answered, be it in our state or for Akhilesh ji and his Samajwadi Party in Uttar Pradesh.
BJP has not crossed majority by their own. How you react to this, and particularly the fight of Baramati? We should know about overall your.
It's so early. We have to wait for another day or two. Then correct picture will come. When we sit in Delhi and discuss with our colleagues, then I will be able to tell what exactly it is.
Well, our take on the BJP not securing the majority this time, solely for that, there will be a meeting that will be called of our party as well as the other sister parties, and we'll sit together and then decide upon the final figures that have come out.
दो लोगों के साथ हो गई, खड़गे साहब एंड सीताराम येचुरी, और वो अन्य साथियों के साथ बातचीत करेंगे और फिर हमें संदेश देंगे कि दिल्ली में मिलना है या नहीं। हो सकता है कि कल मिलने की स्थिति पैदा हो सकती है।
We'll also sit and discuss with Congress chief Mallikarjun Kharge about the distribution of power ahead. The BJP has done the work of breaking parties and alliances.
वोटिंग में लोगों ने दी है, और हमें खुशी है कि ये गलत रास्ते पर एक राजनीति जो जिम्मेदार राजनीति उस रास्ते से जा रही थी, उनको जो कोई सबक सिखाने की आवश्यकता थी, वो सबक आम जनता ने सिखाए। ये अच्छी बात।
Well, that's Sharad Pawar there, Gargi, indicating more about the Maharashtra politics, saying the MVA will work for the people. This is a reiteration that that's the original NCP that he holds, and the original Shiv Sena is with Uddhav Thackeray.
That's
so I
right.
think that's
and
fascinating.
Talking about holding a meeting and exploring at the national level as well, saying that we'll be at the forefront in collective contribution through the MVA at the national level. So interesting there.
It'll be fascinating to see how this plays out.
Place.
The India Alliance meeting will be as important as the NDA meeting. But joining me now
and to talk more about this,
Leher Singh Siroya, Rajya Sabha MP of the BJP. Mr. Leher Singh, the Congress seems to have held to 10 seats. It's the best performance of the Congress from 2004. 2004 said this is the best performance of the Congress in a Lok Sabha election in Karnataka. What is the consequence of this result to the BJP state leadership?
देखिए, जहाँ तक मैं साउथ की बात ज़्यादा करूँगा क्योंकि मैं साउथ से हूँ
जी।
साउथ में हमारी सीटें बड़ी है और वोट परसेंटेज खूब बड़ा है। आंध्रा में और तेलंगाना में हमने काफ़ी प्रोग्रेस की है और आंध्रा में हम सरकार बनाने जा रहे हैं, हमारी कोalition गवर्नमेंट, और तेलंगाना में हमारे को 8 सीटें मिली और 8 कांग्रेस को मिली है और 4 सीटें जब कर्नाटका के मिली थी 4 से हम 25 सीटों तक पहुंचे हैं। तो तेलंगाना, आंध्र प्रदेश और केरल में भी हमारा खाता खुला है। तो अब हम साउथ इंडिया की पूरे साउथ इंडिया की पार्टी हो गए हैं। तमिलनाडु में हमारा वोट परसेंटेज 8 से बढ़कर 17% हो गया है। केरल में हमारा वोट परसेंटेज खूब बड़ा है और कर्नाटक में हमारा वोट परसेंटेज घटा नहीं है। हमारी कांग्रेस की सरकार की सारी कठिनाइयों के बावजूद भी हमने 16 सीटें जीती और हमारे अलाइज ने 18 सीटें हम जीत चुके हैं और शायद 1 सीट में कुछ फर्क चल रहा होगा। तो अच्छा, कांग्रेस के लिए पता नहीं कांग्रेस क्यों इतनी खुशियां और मनारी में उछल रही है। कांग्रेस का हमारा जो वर्स्ट 116 का था में और हमारा बेस्ट परफॉर्मेंस था 182 सीट, 182 सीट्स एट द टाइम ऑफ द वाजपेयी गवर्नमेंट इन 98 एंड 99। 182 में होकर के पूरे देश खुशियां मना रहा था। तो आज तो हम 245 के आसपास हम बीजेपी है और हमारा प्री पोल अलायंस जो है वो 295 सीट के आसपास बता रहा है, जो 1-2 सीट आगे पीछे हो सकता है। निसंदेह हमारा जो नुकसान हुआ है, जो हमारे को काउ बेल्ट की पार्टी कहा जाता है, उस काउ बेल्ट में राजस्थान और मध्य प्रदेश में, उत्तर प्रदेश में हमारा बहुत नुकसान हुआ। मैं मानता हूं इसके लिए पार्टी चिंता करेगी और क्यों हुआ ऐसा सोचेगी।
लहर सिंह जी गार्गी, आई थिंक द क्वेश्चन सर, आपको स्टेट लीडरशिप बदलाव लेकर आया था, विजेंद्रा वाज मेड स्टेट प्रेसिडेंट, उन पर
येदियुरप्पा was given a free hand in terms of deciding the tickets as well.
उन पर क्या नतीजा हो सकता है ये रिजल्ट? क्या वो स्टेट
कुछ रीथिंकिंग होगी जो आपकी जो लीडरशिप है स्टेट में? कर्नाटका की बात कर रहे हैं हम।
हाँ, लेकिन मैं क्यों साउथ तो पहले साउथ की बात कर लिया, कर्नाटका पे आऊंगा मैं। कर्नाटका में जो है इस ऐसे स्थिति में जब पूरा देश में इस तरह का माहौल हो गया, फिर भी हमने हमारी सीटें बरकरार रखी, 18 सीटें बरकरार रखी हमने, और कांग्रेस की सरकार के बावजूद हम 18 सीटें मेंटेन कर पाए। और डीके सुरेश को जो हमने हराया है, जो डीके कुमार का भाई है, तो हमारी सबसे बड़ी जीत है। हम हर जगह हमारा आधार बढ़ रहा है और बेलगाम की सीट हम जीते हैं। आपको मालूम है, वहाँ भी डीके कुमार के जो लक्ष्मी हेबालकर उनका जो मिनिस्टर है, उनका बेटा वहाँ खड़ा हुआ था और वहाँ भी उन्होंने खूब ताकत लगाई थी।
ओके, मेरा आखिरी सवाल आपसे, जेडीएस के साथ अलायंस जाती रहेगी या will you rethink on that? What is your sense? I know you don't have a decision making this one, but I'm just asking you, आपका prediction क्या है?
नहीं, इस मामले में मैं डिसीजन मेकिंग भी आ सकता हूँ कि जेडीएस के साथ हमारा कंटिन्यू रहेगा, बहुत शानदार तरीके से रहेगा, और ये जेडीएस के साथ हमारा अलायंस हम अगल बगल के स्टेट में भी किसी न किसी रूप में ले जाएंगे और केरला और तमिलनाडु में भी हम इनके साथ मिलकर के आगे बढ़ेंगे। और हमारे जो विजेंद्र के जो जहाँ तक सवाल है हमारे अध्यक्ष का, मैं समझता हूँ कि अध्यक्ष के हाथ मजबूत हुए हैं और अध्यक्ष ने इस ऐसी विपरीत परिस्थितियों में बहुत अच्छा परफॉर्मेंस किया है। तो मैं नहीं समझता कि इसका इन पर कोई नेगेटिव इफेक्ट आएगा, बल्कि पॉजिटिव इफेक्ट आएगा। और कर्नाटका और आंध्र और तेलंगाना हम मिलकर और साउथ में और ज्यादा नंबर से आगे जीतेंगे और साउथ इंडिया की पार्टी हम बनेंगे इक्वली जिस तरह से नॉर्थ इंडिया में है।
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us there, Leher Singh, and your comments on the BJP's performance in South and obviously and what we are expecting in Karnataka. But some breaking news now coming in: the BJP moving to form government now, and the Prime Minister and Home Minister Amit Shah have called Chandrababu Naidu. This, according to sources. Also, an NDA meeting has been called for tomorrow. So really, making those announcements, moving fast there, and also speaking with allies like Manji and Chirag Paswan. So all those moves are being made by, even as the NDA number right now, it's at 296. Maria joins us for more on that. Maria, tell us, what do we know so far? What are the moves being made?
Yes, so even as we speak, there is an important meeting which is happening at BJP President JP Nadda's home, where Home Minister Amit Shah and Defence Minister Rajnath Singh are present. Other senior BJP leaders are expected as well. So, look, the NDA is trying to send that message that NDA together has crossed the majority figure of 272, and at present they are standing at 296. Of course, this is far less than what they had expected and what the exit polls had suggested, but the process of government formation has begun. Prime Minister and also Mr. Shah have spoken to Chandrababu Naidu. They would be participating also in his swearing-in ceremony, which will be taking place on 9th in Amravati. What we can also tell our viewers is Home Minister Amit Shah has spoken to other allies from Bihar, which includes Chirag Paswan and also Jitan Ram Manji. So that the calls which are important in nature, including the calls to Nitish Kumar and others, are being made by Amit Shah and also Mr. Nadda and Mr. Rajnath Singh. Even as we speak, that meeting has begun. I think the party would be also deciding how should they be projecting this number of 296. Look, they have crossed the majority number. So as far as looking at the pre-poll alliance of the NDA is concerned, they are way above the majority figure of 272.
And may I add, Maria, that the BJP is the single largest party by a mile and a half. You see, the Congress is only at 99. So it will be, remember in 2004, the Congress was at 145 when it undid the Vajpayee government at that time. Does the Congress, will it work? We don't know. I think BJP really moving, really fast there. But
and showing confidence, because you have to, given the
That's
numbers
right.
that they
Let's
are,
put that question across to Arshpreet as well from the Congress. Arshpreet, the BJP is still the single largest party by a mile and a half. While you've been possibly the India Alliance successful in bringing the numbers much below 272, it seems like the NDA still is poised to form a government.
Well, see, I want to start by thanking Mr. Nitin Gadkari, by thanking Mr. Rajnath Singh, Mr. Shivraj Chauhan, Ms. Vasundhara Raje, Mr. Khattar, Mr. Yogi Adityanath especially, for all these leaders made it possible that the Bharatiya Janata Party's graph went so low. All these leaders, I would request that there's a little bit of an echo, if the team would kindly take care of that.
Sure,
I'll
we'll
continue.
just get that.
So second of all, please, and second of all, these leaders made it possible for the Bharatiya Janata Party's graph to go down, because all of them are done with Mr. Modi and his dictatorial ways, because Mr. Modi and Mr. Shah do not want to listen to any other leader other than themselves. They do it with their own leaders, they do it with their workers, they do it with their allies. Therefore, the double-engine train could not reach the station. Before that only it stopped. And the reason behind that is JJP left them one ally, AIADMK left them, Samta Party left them, SAD left them, SAD Swift left them, others left them, people that had been given tickets left them. The only reason was Mr. Modi, Mr. Shah and the dictatorial ways. And second of all, the exit polls. Let's just get one. Yeah.
You say about allies who left them, would you have been better, much better in terms of numbers had you given convener post to Nitish Kumar for the India Alliance and got Chandrababu Naidu on the Congress's side?
See, as far as Mr. Nitish Kumar is concerned, I think it's good that he left the India Alliance and went to the NDA, because he was a liability anyway. If he can shift so much, if he can change his ideology overnight, and that too so often, it's even sooner than people change clothes. So he'll prove out to be a liability for the Bharatiya Janata Party. You'll see that very soon. And third, one thing is for clear, that exit polls cannot be trusted. All the exit polls have been proven out to be wrong. This happened in 2004 as well, when the exit polls, the opinion polls, the surveys suggested that the Congress party would be losing the election. We did win the election, we did form the government, and back then also we had lost Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh and MP. Despite that, within a few months we had made a comeback. Number three is that the people, when they went to vote this time, they had a couple of questions in their head for the Bharatiya Janata Party. Where is our 15 lakh? Where are the 2 crore jobs that you promised us? Where is
All
the
right.
doubling of farmers' income?
All
Where
right, I
is
think
the
exit
inflation
poll-
reduction
Right,
of
actually,
diesel,
but let's
petrol,
put that
dal,
question to
wheat,
Geeta Bhatt here in studio with us. And, and Arshpreet, you're talking about the exit polls, and I think that is one of the big stories of how, what the exit polls had predicted and what the numbers have actually come. But Geeta Bhatt, your response to, what happened, while of course the BJP going on to form this historic, third term and lead the government here, but still the story in UP and the fact that it's not even seen so far for the NDA yet.
Well, one thing is clear that even if you look at the north side of India, BJP in itself was already at its peak, and in terms of the numbers. So, and with the anti-incumbency being 2 terms already there, sometimes some seats, I think it was expected that it may lose a few seats, but whether it will be able to gain that much if you go down south or towards the east.
Right, Geeta.
And they have been able to do well over there.
Okay, I just ask you quickly, as you make this point, would you concede then that the Ram temple did not work? A,
especially in
UP,
Uttar Pradesh.
and B, that there was resentment and the breaking of governments in Maharashtra, breaking of the Shiv Sena, breaking of the NCP led to enormous emotional resentment, which coupled with agrarian distress to rout you in Maharashtra and in Uttar Pradesh, the Ram Mandir issue did not work. Would you believe these two?
See, Ram Mandir issue, I think it was always meant to be a non-political issue. It was the opposition which always tried to make it into a political issue.
But it was talked about in rallies and spoken about as well.
Definitely, it was something because it was an issue which was very close to the Bharatiya Janata Party as the only political party which actually stood and put it in manifesto, as an agenda. But the point is that if you look at it, the people, did anyone, when Pran Pratishtha happened on 22nd of January, is it that the government had to tell anyone in the country actually to, come out, celebrate it? There was the kind of happiness and joy all around. So the people of the country were, they had a lot of pride in it. So the point is that holding it to as a political issue, it is more to do with the opposition. They were trying to hold it as a political issue.
We leave all. I just want to know what would be the key learning for the BJP at 241, because while the NDA is well past the 272 mark.
Right.
The BJP needs to constantly look at its back, because the 2 allies who are going to give you the numbers, Chandrababu Naidu and Nitish Kumar, are extremely, and I can't say it enough, seasoned. They've seen Indian politics for too long and they are known to jump sides. Naidu, remember, knocked on the doors of the Congress. They didn't want him. He came to the BJP made him wait. Today he could become the kingmaker. What would be the key lesson for the BJP?
Well, I think for any political party, it is very important to introspect and to look into that, if they were wanting to win a much larger number, and they of course, they are the largest party, but still, the kind of number that was being projected at, it is important probably to look at the candidates who were chosen, whether they went wrong over there, because for any party, not only just for BJP, I think for any political party, it is actually to look into that the candidate.
So the BJP did change many of its sitting candidates.
Many did, even Samajwadi Party did. Samajwadi Party changed many times their candidates at many places.
I'm saying at a level, and no, it was appreciated that you looked at it so granularly, that each seat was looked at so carefully, and
Gargi,
candidates
three things I think could have changed the numbers today. One is UP. If the BJP had held on to it, it would have been 270, 272, close to that.
Sure.
The second is India Alliance alienating both Nitish Kumar and Chandrababu Naidu. Had they been on his side.
So, but you have to, now this means the age of coalition governments, because now BJP is going to be in a coalition government in this third term, with, you need the allies, and so, take everyone along.
Appears, yes,
and so the age of coalition governments back in the country.
Well, it seems so, looking at it right now at these figures, that this is going to be a coalition figure, because even if it is, right now the figure is at 240 for BJP, it may increase by 10, let us say 15 numbers.
Even here, it's a categorical BJP as a single largest party. If the India Alliance does a hodgepodge government, the BJP will be an extraordinarily strong opposition. But I think the BJP is in pole position to form its government as an NDA government, though. We'll take a very short break now, Gargi.
And we'll be back with more. Do stay with us. We'll get you more comments. A short break for the moment. Welcome back. Well, we're counting down and showing you the numbers there as the counting is taking place, and pretty much firmed up now, Veera, with the 296 for the NDA, 229 for India bloc, though it would see a little bit of change.
Don't say it's firmed up ever until you get the final results.
Yes, it's pretty much
because
firming up.
Some of those numbers are very close, and yes, you're right, it would possibly be in this trend.
Well, talking about firming up, let's go across to Radhika now, who joins us from Mumbai. And Radhika, what about the Mumbai North Central seat? That seems to be neck and neck. You have Ujjwal Nikam and Congress's Varsha Gaikwad, in that fight. And when Ujjwal Nikam was announced, that was a very interesting name to, throw in there into this electoral contest. Tell us what's happening.
That's right, fascinating results as far as Maharashtra is concerned, still going neck to neck. But MDA has almost called this election, because right now we are looking at 20 for MDA, 27 for MDA and 20 for Mahayuti. And this is obviously something that was predicted by pollsters simply because of the change in political landscape. I'm outside Sena Bhavan where there's, victory dance happening, celebrations happening. This is outside Uddhav Sena Bhavan where Sena workers are celebrating in large numbers. You can see the new symbol being flaunted by Uddhav Sena members here, which is the Mashal symbol, and the flag that is being shown by people, by Sena workers, Sena members right outside Sena Bhavan here. So this is the kind of scenes we've been seeing in Maharashtra since morning. In fact, Sharad Pawar also taking a press conference. He was among the first few leaders who took a press conference, expressing his happiness over the trends that he's seeing now. He says that Maharashtra needs change, and that is what is being witnessed. Of course, he saying that MVA is committed to the people of Maharashtra. MVA was never there like a few years back. It's a newly formed alliance post-2019. And then, of course, Mahayuti also a newly formed alliance.
Radhika, is there a sense that this could impact the state politics and potential realignment there? Is this a reiteration that Sharad Pawar holds the NCP, Uddhav Thackeray holds the Shiv Sena? Do you see that happening? Is that what the buzz you're picking up there on the ground?
Absolutely, absolutely. This is going to impact state politics to a great extent, simply because one, assembly elections are going to happen in a few months from now, and this is going to determine what will happen in assembly elections. This is just a prelude to assembly elections, or something that several of the leaders are feeling, and this is certainly a big setback as far as Eknath Shinde and Ajit Pawar are concerned. Of course, as far as NDA is concerned, it is BJP that is the big brother that is, keeping Mahayuti afloat at this point. Almost 16 seats won by BJP, just about 6 perhaps being won by Eknath Shinde, and also nothing that is being won by Ajit Pawar. There were disputes even before the announcement of candidates and seats, even at during the phase when announcements were being made as far as candidates were concerned. There were a lot of back and forth that we were seeing. So it was disadvantage Mahayuti to a large extent. Post the split, of course, post Eknath Shinde split, the government itself changed in Maharashtra. It strengthened BJP, it strengthened NDA for sure. Post Ajit Pawar split, the kind of reactions that we got on ground were mixed, because there was a sense of betrayal. People did feel confused about the changed political landscape that perhaps may have worked in favor of
right. Well, it's great. It's interesting to see, Radhika, the celebrations behind you, and not just the assembly polls, Veera. There's also going to be, the BMC elections in Mumbai. That has been long due, and there you can see celebration. But we talk about the breakup. 29 seats for the India Alliance, out of which
the numbers are on the screen, Gargi.
10, yes.
But for the Sainiks, it's a very emotional moment.
Absolutely.
Remember, this was something very, very different. It's a very emotional
and most
party
of the political
there.
analysts did, because Maharashtra was so tough to call, but but they did speak about, this sympathy wave on the ground
Let's
for
get-
Sharad Pawar, for Uddhav Thackeray, and maybe that's why people read it wrong. But let's talk more about that. We're also joined by Kartikeya Batra, a political researcher, joining us. And Kartikeya, a big talking point right now is also about the exit polls and how wrong they went, and and what was being projected, what the reality has turned out today. Lots of questions being raised about it, and of course the Congress has made all sorts of allegations about these political pundits.
Yeah, so I hope you're not counting me as one of them.
Well, you have.
Well, we all are. We all are, Kartikeya.
Well,
We
not
all are.
Not the political pundits per se, but the researchers, the data analysts.
When there is a blowback, we're all one. We have to take it. You can't, keep
The
one over the other.
pollsters.
But I do know that there were some individuals who did make strong predictions. But what's the sense? What's the big takeaway?
It's been an intense day. I was just talking on a lighter note, but you're absolutely right that certain states were called wrong, and Uttar Pradesh and West Bengal, I think, would be the top outliers in that sense. So I think in Uttar Pradesh, Veera, I think it's fairly interesting to see. I think the polls that got it wrong, including I am affiliated with C Voter in a small capacity. So I think one of the big differences was that we polled the BSP at roughly 14%, but the BSP's vote share plummeted to less than 10%. And it seems that the India Alliance has been able to corner a large part of that vote, which is why you see the gains that they've clocked. But I mean, I think this is a great performance with Samajwadi Party and the Congress Alliance. And for the Congress to get 7 to 8 seats in UP is nothing less than a dream. West Bengal, I think I was at least very skeptical in the sense that what happens when people talk to you in the polls and what happens when they go and cast their vote are two different things. So I'm not surprised by the, because even the assembly polls, people got it wrong. Pollsters got it wrong in West Bengal. I think where they got it right is Odisha, where the BJP has swept. Where they got it right is Andhra, where the NDA has swept. Where they got it right is other parts of South India. Telangana, BJP, Congress emerging as the two strong parties, and BRS is decimated. Rajasthan, Haryana.
When you're giving me the national picture, at 241, the BJP, mile and a half ahead of the Congress as the single largest party. The Congress under 100. In 2004, it was at 145 odd. So is it clear now that the Congress has to play the role of a strong opposition with those extra MPs, and the BJP will form the government as the NDA?
Veera, for me, the battle was always about two numbers. Can the BJP cross 272 and will the Congress get 100 seats or not? So for me, two numbers were at test, 272 for the BJP and 100 or 90 for the Congress. It seems the Congress has crossed that. I don't think the India Alliance was fighting I didn't think they thought they'd form the government.
Right.
I'm sure they were also fighting with the objective of denying the BJP a brute majority on their own, which they seem to have done.
And
Gargi, sorry.
Yeah,
please
no,
go
I'm
ahead.
saying that end of the day, what we do want is a healthy democracy, and a strong, opposition is definitely a part of that. It's going to be interesting going forward, seeing a coalition government being run, centered around the BJP, Prime Minister Modi running a coalition government.
And we don't know anything about it, Gargi, because neither in Gujarat nor in Delhi has either Mr. Modi or Mr. Amit Shah run a coalition government. These are uncharted territories. So I think we need to see what's going to happen. The other thing we need to understand is what's going to happen internally within the BJP, because not everybody was happy with the current dispensation. And what happens in states like Uttar Pradesh, where the BJP has lost seats? Do they change the chief minister, or does the chief minister say that it's I who gave you these seats, otherwise you would have probably been even worse? We've already seen change of guards in other states like Haryana. What happens in Maharashtra, Gargi? That's a big question. I think you were alluding to it. That do the two factions of Shiv Sena now come back? What happens to the NCP? What happens in the assembly elections? But I think the biggest takeaway is the Congress should take heart that finally, once again, after a long time, in a national election, it has become competitive against the BJP in the Hindi heartland. Haryana, Rajasthan, Uttar Pradesh will give, and to some extent Jharkhand, will give the Congress a lot of heart going into a lot of these assembly polls that are up.
That's right. This is a big election here with a lot of state elections.
One final point, and I'll put this to both Geeta and you. Is it then the lessons that the allies have been able to really bolster the numbers, whereas to really unseat the BJP, the Congress needs to have those one or two states where it can defeat the BJP fair and square and sweep them out? It needs those 1 or 2 big states where it's a direct BJP Congress fight, whether it is a Madhya Pradesh, whether it is a Gujarat, whether it is a Rajasthan, or whether it is a UP, where they can sweep them out. That's the only way their numbers are going to come back to where it was in 2004.
Kartikeya.
Absolutely, Veera, and there's no doubt about that. Now, imagine the kind of sweeps you see in Madhya Pradesh. By the way, may I say, Gargi Veera, an outlier seat that I think will go under the radar but should be given a lot of credit is Congress winning a seat in Gujarat after 10 years. Yeniben Thakur winning Banaskantha. Do you know
seat.
that was the only seat in Gujarat that saw an uptick in turnout, which meant that was the only seat probably where even the voters thought there was some competition, and the Congress has won that seat. So I think that is one. But you're absolutely spot on. If you go to 2009, Veera...
I might just butt in there and say that Banaskantha, possibly the Rajasthan effect there, given that it's the arid top state district
Veera, but that region of Rajasthan is the tribal dairy OBC region where the Congress has been traditionally strong. Even in 2022, when it was routed in Gujarat, in that region, it got whatever it did.
Both parties have symbolic victories, Geeta.
Right.
BJP has one in Kerala. Thrissur is the one seat.
Yes.
It seems like Thiruvananthapuram was a close fight, but not happening.
But Veera, to add to answer your question, in 2009, when the Congress did well, they did very well in Rajasthan, Haryana, Delhi, Uttarakhand. So I think to your point that you need at least 2 to 3 Hindi heartland states going your way. And if in this election, the Congress had picked up 5 odd seats each in Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh, then probably the BJP would have come down even more. So yes, the resurrection of the Congress in the Hindi heartland states is a necessity for them.
Madhya Pradesh lost that one
to be able
seat
to
that they
form
had.
government.
But yes,
Uttar
Geeta
Pradesh
Bhatt.
Congress has done well, but even if you look at Uttarakhand, I think all 6 are going to BJP. Right, same as with Madhya Pradesh.
The Himalayan states.
Yeah, Himalayan state and even Madhya Pradesh.
But let's talk
also.
Kerala, in that sense that one seat that the BJP has, Tamil Nadu doesn't seem to have worked out.
Right.
But Kerala, that one seat, Suresh Gopi winning it, remember there was a Christian-Hindu consolidation there that the RSS was working on.
Absolutely.
It seems to have worked.
It has, and so it has opened the doors for BJP. And these are in the southern states also, Veera, if you look at the vote share, whether it is in Karnataka, even Karnataka also, although the number of seats are down, but vote share still for BJP is the largest.
Look at that Kerala map, split between 2 sides of blue, North and South Kerala, with Central Kerala held by the BJP and the CP.
If you understand Kerala, you know that...
And even if you look at Andhra Pradesh or Telangana, Andhra Pradesh also, they are in Tamil Nadu also, 17% vote share they have got. Right, so it is up quite a lot.
17%. Annamalai had said in the interview as well, 18% was a mark they looked at. The PMK has galvanized itself and built this up. You needed a significant vote share, and remember that 17% that you're talking about is concentrated, so it might have an impact. I think in hindsight also, Geeta, is that this catchment area, I will alienate the AIADMK completely, doesn't work. Had there been a potential alliance with the AIADMK, I don't know how it would have played out.
But you see, it takes time if you look at, in terms of Telangana also, they have doubled their seats there.
Yeah, that's true. Telangana was a state where...
nobody would have
But that's because the BRS collapse comes to the
Odisha has its
BJP.
own story.
It's
But
always
Kartikeya,
at
you're
someone's
talking
cost.
about the lessons for the Congress, and hopefully that will be taken. But the BJP, one has to say, even if they don't get those votes, they still, the next day, you'll see top leaders still going to those states, politicking or holding meetings, holding rallies, etc. They really give it all, and even in Tamil Nadu, I have to say it's for the long haul. They're trying to build up that
Look,
support
Gargi,
there.
ultimately for the long haul, you also need seats. They were hoping, yes, the NDA winning 1 seat in Dharmapuri, which is Soumya Ramdas, Anbumani Ramdas's wife, and the day after elections onwards, local analysts and everybody started predicting that this was the 1 seat. The other one that they were looking at was the Tirunelveli seat, where Nayanar Nagendran, an erstwhile AIADMK leader, was contesting. The DMK was supremely confident that it was going to hold out.
They're a formidable alliance.
It shows
yes, the DMK.
that when you build 3 fronts, like if you had a splintered opposition across India, the BJP benefits. That same way in Tamil Nadu, when you have a splintered opposition between the AIADMK and the NDA, it benefits the DMK to hold on to its, bastion there.
It's Kartikeya.
No, nothing to add. Veera is absolutely spot on that I think the BJP's strategy, Veera and Gargi, over the years to reach into new states has usually been find an ally and make sure that you poach it, or in a way make sure that you appropriate it over time, which is something you will now see in Odisha. It is happening in Bihar.
That's right.
You will now see it in Odisha as well. And I won't be surprised over time in Punjab also they do something similar.
Okay.
So I think
I want to ask one very quick question to Geeta. You know, in the 2014 election campaign, there was a very interesting analogy in Andhra Pradesh, which had just been, bifurcated. And they said Namo stands for Naidu and Modi. Is that going to hold true over the next 5 years? Chandrababu Naidu could well be a key ingredient in this NDA along with Nitish Kumar.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, the way the numbers are, we can see that, and as you mentioned, Veera, that the two important coalition partners, the JDU and the TDP, they are going to be very important in forming the government. And yes, we can in alignments in politics we have seen they keep changing. But now, as you said, that TDP, the Congress decided to not let them in, and now when they are doing so well in Andhra Pradesh, they are forming the government. The numbers, the assembly results are already out. So Chandrababu Naidu is already forming the government, the state government over there. And here also, I'm sure I think they have already exchanged pleasantry, the Prime Minister and the...
That saffron there, I must tell you, it has to be more yellow than saffron because the TDP's color is yellow and the TDP is the one that's swept.
I think
it's the YSRCP and the NDA.
But Geeta Bhatt, now with this coalition government in the works, clearly with 294 for the NDA and 240 for the BJP, and when, in the past, the Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, now will we see, more of walk the talk on that front rather than this politics of hate we've seen on the campaign trail a lot, and that has been a big talking point. Opposition has been pointing out about this. So hopefully, do you think now, less of that?
Gargi, if you look in terms of the implementation of the policy, I think they have almost all the welfare schemes of the government, they have been delivered to across the section of the society, irrespective of, all class, community, religion. So there has been, this was, the agenda which was put forth during the political debate in the course of this election was because of the manifesto that had come up, it was with respect to that, the manifesto of Congress party. But otherwise, if you actually look in terms of delivering the goods,
Samajwadi Party, this talk of, Pakistan is supporting the Samajwadi Party, also that, should Samajwadi Party and Congress come, the temple will be brought down. Those are some of the more
actually
absurd
for that, I think Mr. Rahul Gandhi also has to be given some credit, because there were already rounds
Dare
around
I
that,
say
if Congress comes back, we are going to rethink about the...
Dare I say there will be enormous repercussions and perhaps reactions to this result, both socially as well as in terms of other aspects, Gargi.
Right, Kartikeya, yes, and if you want to talk more on this point about the kind of phrases, kind of things that we heard on the campaign trail, that there was a sense of othering as well. So perhaps that is something a lot of the young people.
Sorry, Kartikeya, we need to go across to LJP's Chirag Paswan, who's speaking live in Bihar. He could be another important leader.
हम लोग जीते, प्रधानमंत्री जी का कुशल नेतृत्व, मेरे मुख्यमंत्री नीतीश कुमार जी का गठबंधन को मजबूती देना और हमारे तमाम घटक दल आदरणीय जीतन राम मांझी जी, आदरणीय उपेंद्र कुशवाहा जी का जिस मजबूती के साथ गठबंधन ने एकजुटता के साथ प्रचार किया है, ये उसी का परिणाम है। देखिए, मुख्यमंत्री जी की स्वाभाविक है, मुख्यमंत्री जी की एक अहम भूमिका इस चुनाव में और चुनाव के परिणामों में रही है। जैसा मैंने कहा कि गठबंधन के तमाम घटक दलों और उनके तमाम नेता कार्यकर्ताओं को इसका श्रेय जाता है। थैंक यू।
Chirag Paswan there speaking. Well, yes, Kartikeya, one last. And saying that the Gadbandhan
He's one from
is strong.
Hajipur, and
yes.
he's saying that the Gadbandhan is strong. Of course, Nitish and Chirag. Well, let's cut across to the man of the moment in Andhra Pradesh. That's Chandrababu Naidu with his grandson wearing yellow. That's fascinating. That's the color of the TDP. He was standing on the doors of the Congress. He supported the Congress tacitly in the Telangana Assembly election. The Congress didn't want him. It didn't work out to become part of the INDIA alliance. He went to the BJP. He went to jail.
He went to jail.
Waited patiently, Gargi, and finally he has trumped. He is the man of the moment in Andhra Pradesh, and trumped by what? A mile. And it's not just, the smile is only half for Andhra Pradesh. The other half is after 25 years coming to a role of importance in the national capital. Remember 1996 and 1999, how Chandrababu Naidu has aged now, how he's going to use this for Vijayawada will be fascinating. Cutting cakes. Well, I think it's really time for the TDP to cut the cake and celebrate.
Much deserved celebration. Well, with that, we'll slip into a short break. Of course, more coming up on the other side as we continue to track the results, and more or less firming up there. 239 for the BJP, 100 for the Congress party, and 293 for the NDA. Do stay with us.